it up. Bring it back up and soak it up.
You're in such a good mood.
Well, we just watched the first draft of our commercial video. It was very exciting.
Commercial for what?
For our makeup line, Bomo Beauty, honey. Oh, I have my food in my teeth.
Do you have any fears about Bomo Beauty? People with Invisalign swear. People with Invisalign.
The only fears that I have is that
we know what y'all are doing. We know what y'all are doing. Folks, they be at restaurants like, yeah, can I get the? Sorry, hold on. And then you pull all the saliva out, dripping. That's the part we don't want to see.
Y'all are the ones. You are the one making it a problem. People who don't have Invisalign like to people like you make it a problem. We are trying to live our own lives, do our own shit. We're like, we know what you're doing, Susan. We know what you're doing. I'm like, calm down. Okay, do you need to announce it to the whole restaurant?
All of us non-Invisaligners, we be seeing what y'all be up to. You're not slick.
Because y'all are obsessed. Anyway, my only fear is that I hope people like it, and I hope that the products look good on lots of different people. And yeah, I mean, a fear is that I'm afraid people don't like it and people are going to drag us because it's this shit product. But I don't think it's shit. We spent a lot of it. We've invested a lot of time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really great product, and I've also put it in the hands of some really talented makeup artists to see how they like it. And we usually get really good feedback. I really, you and I, we had some of the first hands that was ever in, and I'm really excited to see. Oh, she wears clothes now.
Andy was like, "There's something very strange about Colleen wearing cat print." That was like, fair point.
She wears so now you have a cat that wears clothes.
Yeah, she normally always wears clothes. I gave her a bath yesterday. I just feel like putting clothes on her today.
I was just thinking about Colleen the other day. Actually, it's really funny.
Why?
I was thinking about how she shit in that box and then like tracked her throughout the apartment, and then you're like chasing her around trying to like clean the shit off her paws and her feet, and then she started biting you, and then you're trying to like clean her in the sink, and she's actively eating you while you're trying to clean her, clean off your little shitty kitty.
That was a wild time. That was a wild time, girl.
You said she does this kind of thing. She does like takes shit and steps in it.
I know, it's very annoying. But she like rarely, she's like randomly she does that. She doesn't always exhibit that kind of behavior. Sometimes
it's probably an accident. She's probably trying to kick it to cover it up, and then she accidentally kicks the shit.
I know, but it's still gross. It's very annoying. You can't go up there, babe.
Well, I mean, she probably did it on accident, but I guess we're just condemning the poor cat for trying her best to, do what comes naturally to her.
Smelly cat, smelly cat.
Monet, people are genuinely in the world out here asking us for advice.
I can't believe so for me, but you get wild.
I get wild with my advice?
Yeah, you be letting the children have it with your advice.
How? I can't tell you doing a thing.
No, I'm kidding. No, you give good advice. I mean, in life, I often ask you for advice and things.
In life, one has to face a huge assortment of nauseating fads and good advice. There's health,
that was your first direct number.
Diet, and deportment, and other countless forms of sacrifice. You know where that's from?
Did you ever find that video? You should put it. Can you find that video and put it on Patreon of you doing Strongest Suit?
I cannot find it, but tonight, I am actually going to put the video of me doing Midsummer Night's Dream on Patreon.
Work. You found it.
20-year-old Caldwell in Midsummer Night's Dream at Columbus State University at the very first show in the River Center Theater.
Riverside Theater.
I opened that theater.
You did, Bob. You did. I did that.
I mean, for all you know, I could be lying.
I mean, you often do. So who knows? Who knows what is the truth? People do ask us for advice. A lot of times, it's often relationship advice and sex. People want a lot of sex and relationship advice from us. Why don't they ask us about finances? Why don't they ask us about flying? About how to be a pilot?
Probably because we have said on the show that we don't know anything about finance several times. Probably because we've both said that we fall asleep while our financial advisor is talking to us. That's probably why. I'm assuming. I'm just guessing though. That's just a guess. What do I know?
Shall we get into the advice listening?
Hi, Bob and Monet.
Oh,
My name is Carmen, and I'm a
come
first-time
through.
caller, long-time listener, big fan of you both. And I guess I'm calling for advice on a career change that I'm about to go through. So I am a trans woman from Atlanta,
Whoop,
Georgia,
whoop.
and for the past 10 years, I have been working as a professional esthetician and a teacher. I've always felt like I should be doing something for trans people. And in my role as an esthetician and a teacher, I was never really able to um, talk openly about my trans experience. I always felt like it was better if I just, you know, ignored it or just tried to hide in stealth, I guess, as some trans women would say. But now I am creating a podcast for a large media network, and it is about the trans experience in the southeastern United States. So this will be my first time creating something that is going to be like sent out into the public, and my first time being a public figure, I guess. So my question is, how do you deal with the this transition from being a nobody to basically being somebody who is going to be like a queer public figure? And what kind of advice do you have for somebody embarking on a new podcasting career? Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Sincerely, Public Eyes.
We'll let Jacob name the callers from now on.
My advice is, I think that you cannot get your validation. What happened? Oh,
Jacob
you did like
thing where
eyes.
he'll be like, and then I was like, what? But he just didn't respond. Oh, so I was wondering what Jacob, he was like. Anyway, go ahead.
My advice would be to, now that you are stepping into the public eye, do not let the public make or break you. That makes sense. And by that I mean, yes, you will get people who like what you have to say and adore who you are, and they really vibe with you, but you're gonna have the opposite of that. People who don't like what you have to say and will try to say and do mean things to you. So, but either way, do not let public opinion of you sway who you are. Like, you're getting this platform, you're getting this opportunity because of who you are already. You don't need to prove or validate yourself to these people. You do what you're being paid to do, and you let that be your work. Do not, whether they're nice comments or bad comments, don't let any of them either way like sway who you are as like do not let that validate you or invalidate you, is my advice.
You know, the phrase "nobody" has a lot of negative connotation to it. It's not a phrase I would use. I don't want to stop you from identifying as a nobody if you don't before your podcast launches into the world. But also notice that it can give you a false sense of or let me rephrase, not false. It can give you an inflated ego if you saw yourself as a nobody before and as a somebody afterwards, because then it says a lot about how you view the world around you as well. So I think that something that Monét is saying is true. Like, you have to find your own sense of self and value, you know, within yourself. And just know that even if you are working as an esthetician who is stealthing, you never know who you're helping. You don't know what trans people you're helping by existing and living your life as a teacher and as an esthetician, as a beauty worker, in the world. You know what I mean? I think that as long as you talk about something you really love, you're probably going to be really fine with your podcast. I think that it should if it ever feels like it's not fun, stop doing it. Is my other advice to you.
Yeah, don't let mean, nasty people to take what you want to do with your work, with your leisure, whatever it is. Don't let that deter you, good or bad. Like, but do your thing.
Yeah, but it works both ways. Yeah, it works both ways.
Yeah, both ways.
You can't give them too much. You cannot. Yeah, you cannot. Your worth can't be based on people thinking you're great. Like, people who say I was a no. Like, I would have nothing. I would be nothing without my fans. It just kind of says that you think that people who don't have fans are nothing.
Yeah. And also, and also, if you do happen to misspeak or misstep on your podcast, because now this is a public forum and many people are consuming you, I think that there is something to listening to what people are saying in that regard. Like, you may refer to a demographic of people in a certain way, and people are going to be like, hey, that's not how you do that. And I think be open to listen to that. I mean, now that you're on this public platform, a lot of people will have opinions about what you say and do, and you have to be smart when to listen and what is appropriate. So that's also a thing I've learned too, being in a public figure, is that sometimes I say something or do something I did not know is offensive, could be offensive, was offensive, and it's listening to people telling you like, hey, that thing you said, that's not cool, and you're like, oh, got it. So that's also something too.
What did you do that was offensive?
I mean, I can think of off the top of my head, but I have definitely I have misspoke many times. Anyone who is a fan of mine or who follows me know that I have, and people call me out, and I'm like, got it, won't say that.
Work.
Let's show you for the next one.
Next. Yeah, you want to play it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going. The fuck.
Hey, Bob and Monet. My name is Steven. I'm 22. I'm living in Brooklyn, and my pronouns are he, she, they. I have a question about drag and I guess the social implications of like drag and stuff. I'm sort of getting together to start drag, and I really want to make friends with some of the queens I really admire, but I'm afraid of coming off as strange or intrusive or just like this random person like entering the scene. So I just wanted to know how I can properly like make connections with people in my like local drag scene without feeling like just like the new kid at school or something. I don't know. Any way you guys can help, I'd really appreciate it. And I love your podcast. Mwah. Bye.
Don't be blowing no kisses at me. I'm kidding. Mwah.
Wow, not making the new kid feel bad.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Do you have any memories of like stuff like being a baby queen and like going to the club and not knowing anyone? Did you come with friends? Were you and Jasmine doing it together? How did that work? How did you like stumble onto the scene?
Yeah, when I first started going out in the drag scene, I would Jasmine and I would go out together. We found out we were in this opera program together. We found out we both like drag. We both watched RuPaul's Drag Race, and then she was like, we were at school summer program, and she's like, there's this show at this bar called The Ritz. It's like not too far from this area because I think it was on 42nd Street. It's like right on 46th Street. Do you want to like go together? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, do you want to go together in drag? I was like, yeah. I mean, I had no idea what drag makeup was. I never tried doing makeup before. And then so I went that day on our lunch break. We went to Mac. We bought like makeup stuff from Mac and like little tidbits at the drugstore. I went to her apartment. We got an outfit from Forever 21 and we put on these blouses with like some jeans and some drag makeup on. And I had, drag makeup on and no wig. And I went out to the club. And I think that queens, like seasoned queens who are regulars at the bars and do shows at the bars, you know a baby queen when you see them, someone who tell that they're not quite sure of what they're doing, but I think you can also feel their energy too. Like you can feel the energy of a queen who is eager to like want to like join and like become friends and want to like hang out and go eat with you afterwards. And in my experience in New York City, I was very earnest and I was super gracious in how I presented myself to queens. I didn't want them to think that I was just some fangirl, which I was but like in the bad type of fangirls, the one that you don't want to hang out with. I wanted to be like, I like what you do. I would love to go and hang out with you afterwards. And as Rhea and Thorgy, they were really inviting. They're like, yeah, come on to eat with us. And then from there, we would hang out with them. And then they would say, oh, we're doing this night at this club. And then I would go see Thorgy at this place, or I'll go see Azrael at this other place. And I kind of started following them around. And then you start to become friends with them. Then they start handing you tips, and they start tips as in tips for your drag, not literal money. And they would start just helping out with drag and teaching you the ways around it. And you start doing your own research and you start finding out ways that you like. And I think going to the shows and making friends with the veteran queens and just being really honest, letting that you like drag and you want to try starting. But I mean, now, I feel like it's so different now though, girl, because everyone wants to do drag now. But back then, in my experience, it didn't seem like it was as much. I don't know. I feel like maybe a little different now though. How was your experience?
When I I also had a friend that I did drag with. It was really, I will say this, it is really nice to have someone to be with when you're in drag.
Yes.
I don't know that I could imagine going to a club by myself with no one. That would have been really terrifying. My friend Frosty Flakes and I would go compete at Barracuda on Star Search hosted by Peppermint together. So that was our weekly thing. We would just like spend the entire week figuring out how to do drag. And then that week's work would end up being Thursday. And we present what we came up with for the week. Obviously while having full-time job. Part-time work. I was working like 30-something hours a week. Not full-time. Actually, probably.
And you could never be full-time. You could never be full-time.
Anyway, I had a job. And in the meantime, between, waiting tables at the Jekyll and Hyde Club and bartending, I would figure out how to do drag, and we'd go. And then when you're there, you meet people: Brenda Darling, Honey
Davenport,
Maddox Madison, Logan Hardcore, Honey Davenport, Peppermint. Now, some of the queens were just a bit too established for me to feel comfortable. I could not go to Peppermint and ask her because she was Peppermint. But me and Honey Davenport, we were both baby queens. I could talk to Honey Davenport. I could talk to Brenda Darling. Me and Brenda Darling were both baby queens. I could have a conversation with Jacqueline Darling. We were baby queens together. But then I made friends with enough baby queens that after a while, none of us were baby queens anymore. We were all queens who have been doing it for a couple of years, who have gigs, who invite each other to each other's gigs. That kind of stuff. But also every once in a while we would be blessed to have an evening with Shaquita, or an evening with Peppermint, or an evening with a queen who had a gig. I would be able to sit with them at the diner, or run into them at the wig store. Or
Holly Day, like bless you with her time.
So I made friends with a lot of queens on the scene, is what I did. I made friends with a lot of queens on the scene, and I was very grateful. And I think it's all because of my friend Frosty Flakes and I starting to do drag at the same time. And if you don't have any friends doing drag with you, it's okay. As long as you have someone, I would recommend you have a friend who wants to go to the bars with you at least, so that you can so you're not by yourself. A sad drag queen by herself in a bar is just, I can't even, it breaks my heart. It's the saddest visual to think of a queen. Girl, I just went to the bar by myself recently, and I was like, I think I don't think I'm at a point where I can go to the bar. I was going to the Majestic in Tulsa.
Yeah, and you were finished with, were you in drag?
No, I just finished my show. I got out of drag. I got invited. The guy the promoter for Kane's Ballroom was like, hey, my friend owns the Majestic and wants you to come down. I said, oh, I would love to go down. Thank you for inviting me. So I went down to the Majestic, and I was like, I can't. I mean, maybe it's the thing because I'm like a well-known drag queen. At this point, I'm like, I cannot go to a bar by myself without a buffer or someone with me. I was out of drag, of course, but like, we can talk about this after I give my advice. But yeah, having a friend with you and introducing yourself to people. And also, I'm telling you right now, drag queens really admire talent. I mean, if you come in and you blow someone away, everyone will love you until you give them a reason to hate you. And that's the tea.
And I was I would really be mindful of the energy that you bring into the bar when you're meeting queens, because I've met back when I was still working in New York City, local girl, like when you meet new queens or baby drag queens, the energy that they come with is so important, and it really dictates how other people will respond to them. When you come in a new bitch and you feel entitled, like bitch, like you own the space, like bitch, you are new here. Act like the new girl. Don't act like you are some seasoned veteran bitch. Like that, the energy that a new queen comes with is very important, and it dictates how a lot of people will respond to you and treat you. So be mindful of the energy and be sweet.
Yeah, drag queens do not.
Don't come and be like, "Hey Bob, my name is Riverside.fm. That shirt girl choices."
You better read the name literally in front of you. You better read the name. My name is Invite People, squiggly sign, Riverside, recording, upload 94%.
Like, I met that girl. They come in, bitch, they knew they're trying to read people. I'm like, bitch, who are you? Shut your ass up and get out.
New girl comes, I I hate when the new girl comes in and she says stuff like, "Honey, I will never perform for less than $100." I'm like, "You will,
bitch. You absolutely will.
You'll do it for free for like 2 years. Is what you'll do, bitch. Not coming here with no skills, demanding money. No skills.
That's crazy.
Demanding money. I'm gonna say so. I went to the Majestic, and when I got there, tell me how do you navigate? Okay, was I wrong? So people will come up to me, and I don't like hugging people, especially now that we're still in the pandemic. I do not like hugging people. I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially strangers. I like hugging people I know. I don't like hugging strangers. So if you walk up to me with your arms out, I hold my phone out like this. So by the time you reach me, the phone touches your chest, and you can't get any closer to me. I did this one lady, and she got really mad at me. She came in for a hug.
Was really mad.
Okay, she came in for the hug, and I held the phone out, and she tried to kiss me, and I said, "Hey." What? Yeah, both. She came in for a hug. She put her arm, then I put the phone, and then she went to give me these, mwah, mwah, the cheek kisses, and then and then she goes, once I said hi, and then she goes, "Okay, nice, real nice, real nice." And then walked away.
Work. And then that was the end of the interaction. Then she walked away?
Yeah, I walked away. But she was really upset. I think she might have been also a little bit embarrassed. And then I just walked on. And I kept thinking about how I had these interactions throughout the night that were kind of like that. Like probably one of my favorite interactions of the night was this one guy stopped me and he was, I just got to ask you a question. Who do you main? And I was like, in Smash? And he goes, yeah. So we talked about Smash. And then his friends came over who were with Tootsie, the traveling production of Tootsie. Mm-hmm. And we were talking, but they didn't ask me for a picture. We were just like, it just felt like I just ran into people at the bar and started talking to them and made conversation with them. And it actually felt really nice. And people who come up and go, I mean, if someone says, "Can I have a picture?" and then leave, that's actually cool. Someone who goes, "Can I get a picture?" and they just walk away. I actually don't mind that either. I mean, I would rather, I don't love taking pictures at bars because it becomes a meet and greet. You know what I mean?
Girl.
Yeah. But someone who just asks for a picture and bounces, I'm not super mad at. And also people who come up and go, "I just want you to say I really admire your work." I usually go, "Oh my God, thank you very much." And then we'll part ways too. But people who try to hug me without permission, I really don't like that. I don't know how we got
but yeah, I think that you should have grabbed her and tongued her. Fervently.
Let's go to the next question.
Hey, Bob and Monet. So pronouns she, her, and I'm bisexual. I have a lot of issues with dating and intimacy. I haven't, had a boyfriend in over 10 years. I've never had a girlfriend, and I haven't had sex also in years. It's very much tied to my self-esteem, and I'm just wondering how to freaking get over it so your girl can get laid. Anyway, love you. Thanks. Bye.
Money, help her.
I went first last time, didn't I?
I don't remember who went first, but I can jump in if you need me to. I feel like
I just want to be equitable, so it didn't seem lopsided.
When you feel comfortable with yourself, and that's not, I don't know what that necessarily means, because I don't know where your lack of confidence stems from. I don't know if it's from your socioeconomic status. I don't know if it's from the way you dress, the way you look, if it's from I don't know what your lack of confidence from, or if it's just a deep inherent thing. But I often tell people, and this sounds like some middle school, after school special advice, but it really is true. You really need to find what it is about yourself that you like and just focus on that thing. If you focus on the thing you really like about yourself, you can start liking other things about yourself. Now, this is not an absolute to figure out how to love every single part of your essence. But if you love your personality, if you love your sense of humor, if you love your glasses, I said on Drag Race, my friend Larry introduced me to this notion. If you love one tooth, just pick the one thing you love about yourself, focus on that, and let that be in your mind when you're interacting with other people. Because confidence is sexy. Confidence is a very sexy thing. And, having someone who's complaining about being single all the time, that's just not sexy. Those folks who are like, "Why am I single?" It's because of that. Bitch, that's why you're single.
Oh my God, Bob. Oh my God.
Do you find that attractive?
I don't find that attractive. No, but I mean, to be fair, there are some people who do. Some people. My advice would be if this is a perpetual thing that you cannot seem to do is find self-confidence. Bitch, find someone who finds that sexy. There are people who into people who I mean, it is true. If you cannot find self-confidence, it is not a solution for life. If you cannot find self-confidence and you're just trying to get laid, if that's what you get laid, there are people who are into that. That is a kink. People are into people who feel that way about themselves. Now, I mean, I don't think it's a long-term fix, but if your goal, because you just said you want us to help you get some pussy or some dick. I said, find someone who's into that kink of someone who feels the way that you do. I wouldn't rely on that to fix your life, but if you just want to get some dick tonight or tomorrow or some pussy next Wednesday, I think that's the way to go about it. But if it's like a deep-seated something that you
can you describe to me what it would look like to find someone who is can you describe that process to me?
This person, our caller, she may be into being degraded, or someone pointing out those things that she does not like about herself. That is a kink for that. People are into that kind of shit. I mean, not for me. But if you did something that you cannot shake, and sex is the only thing that you're looking for right now, you're not looking for a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a partner or a husband or a wife, you're just looking into sex, find someone that's into the thing that you feel about yourself. It ain't for me.
There's a nugget of what you're saying that could help, but also a big part of kink and shame kink is not the actual feeling like you're shit. It's just the kinky notion that you're shit. It's not actually about.
I disagree. I think there are some people who are into they want to feel like shit. They want to feel bad. That absolutely is a thing.
That's also there's someone out there who's interested in people who don't shower and smell like shit all the time. Yes. There is someone out there who's into that. But also a part of that is you have to be into that kink too. So if maybe you are into smelling like shit, that's a maybe. You're assuming. I think she gave us a lot of the information that we have. And let's not just make assumptions. By the way,
the information she gave us is that the influence she gave us is that she has self-confidence issues. She cannot seem to break it for a long time, and she wants to get laid. So if you're having self-confidence issues, find someone who's into those issues that you have, and so that you feel, because it's like a weird circular thing that you'll feel good about it, and you just want to get some dick.
But that insinuates that she's into the kink of having low self-esteem. That she's into the kink of being shamed or being pitied for having low self-esteem. And that unless you're into being pitied or having someone be like, "Oh, you're so pathetic," while fucking you, and that is
she may be into it. We should get on the phone. Can we call her?
That is a wild assumption to assume if she's into.
Yeah, if you, but she's saying this is a long pattern for her. She cannot break it. And again, we don't have the information. She didn't say
it's her kink. She said it's her truth.
But
it's her.
We don't have the information. Truth. How long? We don't know if she's been battling this for a month, a day, years, decades. She said 10 years. 10 years. So that is a decade. So I don't think that we can offer an advice to help her fix something that she has been battling for a decade plus. I think that you need to find something to meet you where you're at. We need to find something to meet her where she's at. And this is the place she's at currently.
Monet, you finish your advice. I'm going to give some completely different advice. Finish up your advice to this lady, because I do not agree with advice.
Find someone that's into that thing that you feel bad about yourself, and if that's going to be the gateway to you getting some dick, hurrah.
I feel like, for my mind, kink really needs to be both people have to be at least a little into it. So the notion of a pity fuck, it's not just about someone who wants to pity fuck. You have to want to be pity fuck for it to work. And I'm assuming she's not into pity fucking, because that feels like a pertinent piece of information she would have given us. And it'd be a wild assumption to assume that she's into getting pity fucked. by anyone. What I was going to say is find a way to build your confidence. Luckily, we live in a world where there's a lot of confidence building tools out there. And just know that you can find someone who celebrates you for things that you like about yourself. So, for example, if you think you are really funny, but you don't think you're super physically attractive, I use my humor to get me laid all the time. I know there are people who find humor really attractive. So instead of me trying to lean into being like, I want someone who fucks me because I think I'm ugly, what I say is find someone who wants to fuck you because you think you're funny. Find someone who wants to fuck you because you think you're smart. Find someone who wants to fuck you because you have great legs. Find someone who wants to fuck you because you have long, luscious hair. Find someone who wants to fuck you for something that you like about yourself, not something that you don't like about yourself. That's my advice.
Work. And I'm going to assume that that's not your thing and you cannot find it, and you can easily find someone who will fuck you for the things that you don't like about yourself. That's my advice.
Are you being serious? You really think
I
it's
am
easy
being
to
serious?
find someone?
This person, this is a decades old problem. So I think that this person probably has tried the advice that you are offering, and I'm just offering an alternative. We don't know what's going to work. Let this person decide when they hear this podcast.
It just seems like a weird thing to assume that she wants a pity fucking. That's just a weird
because
assumption.
Because all she wants is some dick, and she's been trying for decades to figure out how to find self-confidence. And I'm just offering her an alternative she may not have thought of, which is to find someone who may be into that. And maybe she's into being pity fucked. Who knows? We don't know. Bitch, everyone is into a little something that you would never thought they were into. I'll tell you, we'll tell you this and say the name afterwards. But there's a friend that's into poopy stuff. And I was like, work. Good for you.
I'm not saying people are into weird stuff. It feels like you're willing to die on this hill that you're almost certain that she might be into it. And I did not say almost certain.
I am offering alternative advice to yours that she may not have thought of. I don't know what Miss Mary Mack is into. I'm just trying to offer an alternative solution that she may not have thought of. She's like, actually, I might be into being pity fucked. Who knows? Dying on a hill.
That's just such a wild way to give advice. That'd be okay. I'm gonna move on for this. That'd be like if the last person I was like, who knows? Maybe you actually want to piss off all the drag queens. Who knows? Some people want to piss people off. So honestly, just going to the club and just slap the drag.
Well, that's not different. This person asked. But who knows? This person. No, that's different. That's a different thing. This person asked. Who knows? This person asked how they could be. How can they make drag friends in the scene? And we know we're drag queens. We know how to make that.
But who knows? There's some drag queen who just wants a new queen to show up and slap them.
But she wants to make friends. This person said they specifically want to make friends. That's the difference. This person, this lady said that she just wants to be fucked.
At the club. There might be a queen at the club who wants to get slapped and be friends with that kind of person. Who knows?
Maybe there is. Who knows? You know what? Maybe there is, but this person asked how to make friends.
Read this next
and you
question.
And I, we actively. This person asked how to make friends. This bitch, Miss Mary Mack, wants to just be fucked.
This next question right now.
Miss Mary Mack wants a pussy to eat or a dick in her pussy or whatever. So I am offering alternative advice
Monet,
that Miss Mary Mack may never have thought of. That is what I am doing on this podcast, Miss Mary Mack.
Read the question.
Thank you so much. Read the question, Monet. That is my advice for her.
You are what? You read the
next question. You're wild.
Nowadays, everything is online, and it's really important that me and my website look beautiful, baby. Okay, making a website can be hard, but I found a perfect home at Squarespace. I have.
Baby, okay.
Baby, okay.
Squarespace uses incredibly intuitive design to help build your website. You can build your dream website without knowing anything about code or computers. And Lord knows I don't. I mean, the only thing I know about code is the Matrix.
Squarespace also has great SEO tools and takes the guesswork out of your search engine optimization for your website, which means you'll get found in searches by more people more often. Now, for me, it has been really helpful for selling merchandise. You know what I mean? Ooh. There's a lot of Sibling rivalry knockoff merch out there.
Girl.
But I'm always confident that our merch will be at the very top of that list.
Mm-hmm. Squarespace has the tools you need to get your business off the ground, including e-commerce templates, inventory management, a simple checkout process, and secure payments. Whatever you sell, Squarespace has merchandising features to make your products look their best online.
Now, the Squarespace blogging platform supports a configurable sharing button, letting your visitors share content on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, StumbleUpon, Reddit, Pinterest, and Tumblr.
I forgot about StumbleUpon. I used to use that all the time in high school.
I used to use Google+. I used Google+ for a little bit. Actually, every once in a while I'll be going back to Google+, and it really slaps.
Really?
Yeah.
I should go back. It also lets you add online booking and scheduling for your classes or sessions to your Squarespace website. Clients can easily see your availability or reschedule if needed, taking the hassle out of coordinating calendars.
Go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/rivalry to save 10% on your first purchase of a website or a domain.
If you're like me, you always get the urge to hit the reset button when the seasons change, especially when it comes to my beauty routine. The good news, baby, Living Proof has a reset button for every hair type and texture.
Now, everything at Living Proof starts in their labs. Founded by a team of scientists and hairstylists, each product is scientifically engineered to solve the toughest hair challenges. Never conceal them.
There's no one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to hair care. Living Proof develops game-changing formulations that have raised the bar when it comes tailored to hair care performance. Unlike other hair care options, Living Proof addresses your specific hair needs and concerns like frizz, dullness, damage, and offers unique scalp care solutions because science in action equals your best hair.
Not only do Living Proof products deliver proven performance, but they also deliver the promise of being silicone-free, sulfate-free, paraben-free, phthalate-free, and never tested on animals.
Living Proof products leave you with brilliantly beautiful hair that's cleaner, longer. Basically, it's been working over time for me and my boo.
Now, my boyfriend uses the Perfect Hair Day Advanced Clean Dry Shampoo, and I can see a major difference in his hair. It's really soft. It's like shinier, and he loves it, and you're going to love it too.
Honestly, Jacob's hair has been slapping. It looks really good. Put science to work and unlock your best hair with Living Proof. Go to livingproof.com/sibling and use code SIBLING to get 10% off your first purchase. That's livingproof.com/sibling, code SIBLING for 10% off your first purchase.
That is livingproof.com/sibling, code SIBLING.
Fresh from San Diego, California comes the only sunglasses brand I'm ever going to wear ever again, honey. I'm talking about Blenders Eyewear. And you're going to be just as hooked when you see how awesome these shades are and how fabulous. Fabulosity! I got the Lucky Joker sunglasses, and baby, they're perfect to wear when I'm taking a hike at Runyon or when I'm trying to, no pictures, please. Avoid the paparazzi.
Now, Chase Fisher started Blender by selling his beachy shades out of a backpack while doubling as a surf instructor on Pacific Beach. This is an entrepreneur, honey. His goal was to create an adventurous mid-price eyewear option with the same cool factors as the other leading styles.
Unlike expensive big brand shades that you're probably lost or smashed or gone, you know where they are, your friend stole them. You've stolen some of my glasses before.
That's never happened.
Yes, it has. Blenders are actually affordable. So you're not going to cry as much when the inevitable happens and they're gone.
Blender's team of in-house designers are constantly coming out with new styles, from orange polarized wraparounds, tortoiseshell frames with purple lenses, to classic gold arms on black lenses.
And it's not just sunglasses. Blenders have prescription glasses as well, readers and blue lights, as well as snow collection with goggles and accessories. Live life in forward motion with Blenders today, darling.
To score 15% off your Blenders purchase, visit blenderseyewear.com and enter promo code SiblingVIP. That's blenderseyewear.com, code SiblingVIP for 15% off. Blenders. Rocked with pride worldwide.
Hey, Bob and Monet. An opportunity has landed in my lap to take over and own an established record store in my town. What general advice do you have for a small business owner about starting an LLC? Ooh, I look up to y'all like mentors and appreciate any advice and insight in branding yourself as a business owner. XOBBS. Sincerely, Record Breaker. BBS? XOBBS? Is that their name? They're
Babies. BBs.
Oh, BBs. Got it.
Honestly, you might want to run your business into the ground. Some people want to buy businesses and just watch them crumble. Who knows? So what I would like buy the business. Now let me finish. I would buy the business and just don't record keep. Like, don't even advertise. Open up at odd hours. Open up from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. and then close.
Depending on the business, that might be a great business model.
Honestly,
what I would say
is maybe Record Breaker doesn't actually want business. Who knows?
I would say
that's how you sound.
my best advice would be to go to, which is what I did for mine, is go to incorporate.com. Incorporate.com will literally, they will file all of your things. They will take care of every aspect of starting an LLC that you need to do. Because again, there's so much red tape, and if you miss one thing, like for example, in New York State, there's a law. I mean, I don't know what other states. When you start a business, you have to file an article in a newspaper which legitimizes your business. And if you don't do that within a certain amount of days after you start the business, bitch, your shit is null and void. You be thinking that you have a business, bitch, you have nothing. You have nothing. So I would say go to incorporate.com. You pay them a fee of like, I want to say maybe like $500, but they take care of all the paperwork. They file all the things, and they do everything so that your shit is legitimized, and you are not out here thinking that you have an LLC when you have nothing, looking bald-headed and confused. Incorporate.com. That's how I did my first LLC.
I went to the bank and I asked them what to do. They didn't charge me anything, and they literally step by step showed me every single thing I needed to do to file for an LLC. I mean, took my hand and walked me through the entire process.
What bank did you use?
Did not charge me Chase. There's a Chase in the West Village. Did not charge me $1. They just literally showed me the entire process. That's what I did. I've done it several times actually. And in terms of advice for a small business owner, I think that more than anything, I think that you need to look at the market you're serving. Make sure that you love it. Like, do you love record stores? Like, is this just like a random thing? Is this someone giving it up and you're like, I could do records? Or do you really, really love records? If you're opening a small business,
he's taking it over. He's taking over one.
But I'm saying an opportunity to take over one, that doesn't mean that he loves them. I'm saying I've had opportunities to do stuff that I did not love doing. For example, one of my dear friends, his father passed away, and he had an opportunity to take over a tool business. He does not love tools. He's not obsessed with tools, but he had an opportunity to take over a tool business. But he has a minimal involvement in his brothers who are more into tools. They do that part. So that's why I'm asking: do you love the record business? Are you obsessed with records? I mean, I think that if you're selling records, there's probably a chance that this is a passion project. Like, I don't know how many folks are here in the world buying records. You know what I mean? It has to be something that you truly love. Also, think about other ways you can expand your business. Do you want to bring in musicians and have them play? Is there a space for a small stage? Is there a way to attach a coffee shop to your business so that you don't have to just focus on the sales of records? Little ways to make it exciting for you, because when you have a small business, it is almost all of your time, especially if it is your sole income.
Absolutely.
Like, you have to spend so much time figuring out how to make money, because you're a small business and you're the product as well. I'm the product at my small business, but even outside of that, I sell products too, and it is a lot of work. So I would just say, really make sure that you truly, truly love what you're doing. Record breaker.
And I would also say, look at social media and advertising. Like, find trends that you can incorporate for your business. Like, make your business a TikTok and Instagram and other social media ways, and find ways that you can literally incorporate your business into it to get people to hear about it and know about it. Maybe you do some, I don't know, you can find someone who juggles records and make like a fun TikTok. I don't know, because I'm sure you're talking about like old time records, which are popular again. Everyone has every hotel I've been in recently, almost every, has almost all the hotels I've been to have had a record player. And so records are popular again. They're big again. So I would say just find like really fun and trendy things you can do to promote the business, to get people knowing that it's out there. And maybe you guys do giveaways. Maybe you guys, I don't know, have record playing parties, and that's a thing. I don't know, but find like fun, interesting ways that you can promote your business that people, so people can hear about.
You can have small artists debut their albums at your place, do signings. Maybe you can have an artist do a signing of their album in your location. Maybe some bands who release stuff. That's a great way to drum up business. Do you think maybe, Monet, that you're all the hotels you're staying at have records because you're staying at a chain of hotels that all have records in their rooms?
No, I haven't been. Like, I've been like the Ace. I did the Neoform Hotel. They're not all the same chain. They're different ones, but a lot of places have records.
Do the Aces have records in their rooms?
Records are really big though. Like almost every artist now, when they put out albums, they be like, and we're doing a limited 300 copies of the record version. Like almost everyone now. It's a really popular thing. Trendy.
I am dear Bob and Monet. I am 24 years young, cis, queer, blackety black woman. I cannot stay up past my old lady bedtime or get drunk without paying for it for at least the next 24 to 48 hours. But I'm also someone who can't stand missing out on group outings. I want to do it all. So I got to know the tea from you two go-getters. What are your strategies for staying fun and fabulous when you're running on fumes? Sincerely, FOMO for BOMO.
But let me tell you right now, I am often, even in my life, I don't need a lot of sleep to function. I normally function between like 4 and 6 hours of sleep. Normally, I rarely get more than 6 hours of sleep. So I'm like a little different, but I think that when I am tired, something that really energizes me is when I'm doing things with people I like doing it with. Like if I'm like doing stuff for Sibling, we're doing something with Bob, we're doing stuff with like friends that I really like hanging out with, that gives me energy because I want to be there. I actually want to participate. But if you're doing shit with people that suck the life out of you, whether it be coworkers or whether people that you don't that you tolerate, you hang out with, but you don't really want to, that gets draining. So I think that you need to surround yourself as much as you can. Obviously, there are things that you can't always be with the people you want to be with, but surround yourself and do events for and with people that really get you excited. You said that you're a cis square blackety black woman. So maybe try finding those circles that have like Facebook groups that do like group outings and shit like that. Like hang out with the people that you really find engaging and really get you going. And I think that will help you to when you feel the fumes, that will like kick you up into hypergear so you can hang out longer, stay out an extra hour, even though you're tired as fuck, because you are really engaged in conversation. You like the restaurant, like, you know, hang out and do things with people you really want to do it with. That's what's tolerating niggas.
You know, I've been really fatigued lately. Like this has been a thing for like the past month maybe, where I've been a lot more tired and sleepy than I normally am. I was experiencing like some confusion and stuff. And then since the confusion, I've been really just like sleepy. And I'm thinking about maybe I've reached a point in my life where, and maybe you're just reaching this point younger, the power of a fucking nap in the middle of the day is monumental. Take a nap. Bitch, take a whole ass nap. When you get off work, go lay your ass down, sleep for 2 hours, and you will wake up feeling like a brand new blackety black woman. You will be like, I did not know I could be this energized at this hour. Also, I've done something called so that's a disco nap. I'm also into a coffee nap. This is a new thing I found out about. You drink coffee or a Red Bull or some sort of caffeinated beverage, and then you take a nap. And then when you wake up, you have even more energy. Because, you know, it takes a while for the coffee to kick in, and because you're reserving energy. I don't know if there's actual science behind this, but a coffee nap is a very real thing. People drink coffee, go to sleep, and then wake up more energized. Now, if that's for a nap. It's like a 20-minute, 30-minute moment. It's not to go to sleep for hours. Then you'll sleep through the caffeine kick.
I'm about to say, bitch, if you're like me, I can't. If I get off of work, I used to get off of work, I'm like, I'm gonna take a nap. Like when I used to be doing the gigs, working at the Yale Comic Con, I could not go. If I got off of work and took a nap, I'm done. I would wake up. I would wake up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, like, and then I can't sleep until I get home the next day from work because I can't go to bed. But y'all niggas who take disco naps are brave.
You can't take a nap and then wake up and then start functioning?
No, when I used to work a full 8-hour shift at work and get off and take a nap, absolutely not. No. It would never work out. I would have to stay up. Yeah, but that's not after an 8-hour shift at work. I'm like, yeah, let me just take a little disco nap. Bitch, I am out for the 6 hours and then I'm wide awake at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I like a disco nap. It really, as I'm taking a nap, I'll just say, set an alarm for 2 hours. Let me try right now. If the alarm goes off, I'm up. Like if the alarm goes off, I will get up. I'm one of those folks who just has conditioned my body to wake up when the alarm goes off. And that's just how I wake up. Pretty much every single day is to an alarm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I unless I'm on vacation, I rarely just wake up just like, oh, how am I, I rarely just wake up without without an alarm waking me up. So that's my advice for you, Miss FOMO for BOMO. And I try not to get to the point where I'm running on fumes. Otherwise, I'm just powering through it. I mean, I'm just walking through mud. You know, when you get sleepy, where do you feel it, Monet?
When I get sleepy, my eyes burn, and I'm like, oh, I can't get my eyes. They burn a lot.
For me, it's right behind my eyes, right in this area of my forehead. That's where
like a headache.
Like that area starts to like. No, it kind of tingles and like it feels like all of my energy is being sucked to that one spot, and I can't focus. And I'm like, oh my God, I cannot. Like all I can think about is like focusing on this spot, and then I start getting sleepy. Yeah.
Dear Bob and Monet, my boyfriend and I are traveling to New York City for the very first time. Could you give me some advice and major highlights to visit on my weekend trip? I want opinions from queer New Yorkers. Sincerely, a couple of tourists.
Couple of Tauruses. They're bulls. Am I going?
Yeah, you going.
Always go to a drag show. If you go to New York City and you're queer, go to a drag show. I cannot recommend enough. Go to a drag show. If you want a big raucous drag show, go to Queen on Thursdays at Industry.
Yes.
If you want like a smaller drag show, go see The Help, which is on Wednesdays at Industry. If you want a one-on-one, go to I don't even know what shows the girls are doing anymore.
Barracuda on Sunday nights with Pixie Aventura.
There we go. Pixie, there's another. Yeah, you can go see. Is she still there on Sundays?
Mm-hmm. It's at 10 p.m.
Sunday night. That is that one woman show fantasy. It's a New York City staple. The one drag queen by herself doing a show is a true New York City staple. You have to experience it. It is unlike the drag you will see anywhere else in the world. When I say woman show, it's not like a scripted show. It's not. It's a combination of stand-up comedy, talk show, improv, and drag numbers. Can you think of another way to describe a New York City drag show, Monet?
I mean, I think that is it. Dancing, singing, hosting, comedy, and just randomness. Like oftentimes
games. It's a game show.
You just never know sometimes what you're gonna encounter. Bitch, you might go there, fucking Kelly Ripa and her fucking husband might be there. Bitch, you just never know. So just go out and just let the night lead you. And go ahead.
Yeah. Now, drag shows are typically speaking in New York City anyway, Sunday through Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday the clubs are usually just dancing. There might be a queen hosting, walking around, but it's not like a full drag show because a lot of people don't know this. Whenever the drag show is done, the reason why drag shows start so late in New York City. Oh, the reason why, it's like the queens do like numbers. Oh, that's true. But the queens like do like numbers back and forth like throughout the night. It's not like a full show on Saturdays, is it?
Well, Saturday during the day, like from like there's skinny brunch and then there's a one woman show and then late in the night it's like a dance party.
Skinny brunch is on Sunday, or do they change?
Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, the show I named that show Skinny Brunch. I did name that show. I'm very proud of it.
I was talking about your little old lady voice you love doing.
No, back in my day. But the reason, that's my advice. Go to a drag show because a lot of people don't know. Like the reason why the drag shows don't usually happen on Friday and Saturday nights is because there's this vibe in the club. When the show's over, everyone just leaves the club. Like everyone just gets up and leaves the club, and obviously you want people dancing until 4 a.m. So you know. Also, New York City clubs open till 4 in the morning. It's not the latest in the country, but it's later. It's 2 hours later than most of the country. So be prepared to dance the night away. Live your dreams. Go up to the drag queen. Offer to buy her a drink. Buy the drag queen a drink, and you'll have a friend. Buy the queen a drink. You have a friend.
Boots of the Ferris does a show Saturday nights at Pieces. It's like a full show. She has a guest and she does numbers and stuff. So that's a show on a Saturday night if you're there because you're there on the weekend. And Sunday, Jasmine Rice does a show. Jasmine is one of our New York City sisters. She's very funny. She's gorgeous. She does a show on Sundays at Hardware. My advice is food, bitch. You need to go to a New York City staple, or a New York City nightlife staple called Empanada Mama. Bitch, take your ass to Empanada Mama. They're 24 hours. Whatever time you finish going to the drag show, you and your boo gonna be hungry. Go to Empanada Mama. Get you the cheeseburger empanada, the Viagra, the ground beef, corn flour, and get you the reggaeton. There's mad empanadas, arepas, it's everything. It's so fucking good. I would also say go to the Floating Islands. They just opened this park. It's on 14th Street and West Side Highway. It's right down there. You can take the A train to 14th Street, walk over the 3 blocks, and there's this really cool new island they have that's floating on the water. It's really fun. And also, if you've never been to New York City before, again, go to Soho. Now, Soho used to be popping back when I was like middle school and high school. Then it got corny, and now it's allegedly popping again. So I have to go down to Soho and like look at like the fun. The David Z stores, a place you can get like cute. If you're a sneakerhead, you like buying sneakers and high tops and Air Force Ones and shit. I would say go just take a walk down Soho and Broadway. You can find all the nice designer stores, but also just regular boutique stores too.
Yeah, I did not do stuff in my 12 years in New York City. I did not do daytime stuff. If you do my daytime stuff, you'd be going to the fabric store. You'd be going up to the 125th to buy wigs. I was not a creature of the day. I had always been. Now in LA, she's a creature of the night. This is the woman of the day. In LA, I'm a woman of the day. But also, you wouldn't want to do my stuff is like go to Michael's, get something framed. You're gonna love that. Go to Runyon Canyon. Go to Runyon Canyon and just go for a hike. I feel like LA is getting a very different Bob than New York City got. New York got a rambunctious young bitch who was like out there like living in these streets on the train, like living her life. And LA has a lady who drives an SUV and goes to Michael's to get things framed a lot.
Which Bob am I getting? Because I'm still not sure.
Yeah, you better find out, bitch. When the movie ends, you'll know. You better meet the real Bob. Make that face.
Bitch, read the question.
The real fucking Bob.
Read the question.
Don't ever call me a bitch again.
Oh my God.
Call me something nice and ask me to read the question, please.
Bitch, read the question.
Say bestie. Say bestie. Can you read the question?
Well, I'm not playing. I'm not doing this.
You won't be nice to me? You mean playing? You won't be nice to me? Is that what you mean when you say you won't do this? You won't be nice to me?
Jacob, can you please get your raggedy ass man to read this question?
Call me bestie and ask me to read the question and say please.
Oh my
I would
God.
do this for you if you asked me to. I'm just asking you to be nice to me. Be nice.
Bob, we need to play video games. Can you hurry up and read the question?
You would rather chew off your own tongue than be nice to me. Just call me bestie and ask me to read the question.
I would rather chew off my own tongue than be nice to you. So would you like to read the question now?
You read it. Bestie, would you read the question, please, bestie?
Oh, my God. Howdy, Bob and Monet. Hi, Bob and Monet Exchange. What advice would you give to a guy who's insecure about his body hair? Stop laughing like that.
Oh,
girl. That's not good for your voice.
That is good.
What advice would you give to a guy who's insecure about his body hair? I'm part of the alphabet soup, so I understand that there are guys that prefer it, but seeing hairless guys in the media most of the time kind of gets to me and makes me feel unattractive. And on the other hand, removing it would feel like removing a part of me at this point. What's your outlook and experience with things like this? How do I get over it? Thanks. Love you both. Sincerely, Teenage Werewolf.
Honestly, I'm going to give you the advice right now. Find someone who's into you being ashamed of having body hair. Find someone who is into
if you're into kink shame. If you're into shaming.
That you hate having body hair. That's the...
If you're into that. I think it's hot. I'm not into body hair myself, but I am into it on the guys. I think the body hair can be, I think it's hot. And I think that more people are probably into it than you think. I think maybe this is the thing that you're going through yourself, but I think you'll be surprised. A lot of guys, just because it's like in the media, we see that on these fucking magazines and on People and Who's the Hottest Man of the Year or whatever. You see that in movies and shit. A lot of guys are into body hair. Like a lot. Like a lot of my friends like body hair. Do you like body hair?
Both my boyfriends are hairy. Yeah.
Work.
They're both
Ezra's hairy?
And Ezra is hairy. Not as hairy as Jacob. Jacob is hairier than Ezra is, but they're both hairier than me. I don't have body hair. I have very little body hair. I have some hair on my chest. I have nothing on my stomach, nothing on my back, and I have very little leg hair. I just don't have a lot of body hair. But I think that Jacob and his body hair is very cute and very sexy. I think that Ezra's body hair is very beautiful, very sexy. And I don't know that I've ever been like into body hair, but I'm in love with these guys and they have body hair and I think it looks really attractive. I think they're just both really beautiful. And I think I think Monet's right. There's a lot of people who are really into fur, like really into fur. I mean, I'm assuming teenage werewolf. It sounds like you might. I mean, I'm just assuming because I feel like if you were a top, you would not be having these problems. And I feel like a lot of people who are bottoms are kind of like sensitive about their hair. This is just an assumption that I'm making. This is based on practically nothing except experience. But there are also lots of tops who love hairy booties, who love hairy chest, hairy shoulders, hairy arms. Body hair is very, very in. It is very in, even on bottoms and Twinkies and otters, and like it's not just for like big daddies. Body hair is for, it's not just for like, it's not, you don't have to be like a big bear or a muscle daddy to have body hair. You can be like a skinny little otter covered in hair. And there's a lot of folks who are really, really into that too. You know, you can be slim covered in hair, and there are people who are really into it. I think that once you find someone who's into hair, you're going to start loving your hair. But maybe you're also, maybe you're already with someone and they're not into hair. That might be an issue too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would say if you're not with someone, find someone who's into that, because I guarantee there are a lot of people who are. You just don't. And if it is a bottom thing, and I mean, if you want to get rid of your hair, you're gonna say if you want to get rid of it or not. No, you said feeling like removing it, feel like you're removing a part of yourself. So that doesn't seem like that's an option for laser hair removal or anything like that. But I think the best option is finding someone who's into that. And I guarantee you there are a lot of people, whether they're tops, bottoms, verse, whatever, who are into that. You just haven't found them. Or you're not, or
this will be an easy find. This will be a very easy find. All right, Monday. We have time for my favorite drag king, Juan Moore. We have time for one more.
You go ahead and read it, babe.
Will you ask me to read it? Will you call me Best and ask me to read it?
No, I'm not. And you know that when you back me into the corner, beg me to do something, I'm not going to.
Why is it so hard for you to be nice to me? It's so hard for you to be nice to me.
I'm nice to you very often, but you know this thing. This is like the sweater. When you're like, when they do this thing, or else I'm not doing it, I'm not going to do it. That's just how I am. That's how I'm programmed. But Bob, I really like.
Will you read it? I'll be nice to you. Hey, bestie.
I don't want to read it. I've read too many.
I only want you to be. All I'm asking that you be nice to me and ask me to read it instead of saying,
I literally said,
you read.
I literally said for multiple times. I said, babe, can you read the next question, please?
You said that multiple times.
Yes, I go rewind. I didn't say babe, but I said, Bob, can you read the next question, please? Girl, can you read can you read the next question? I think it's you, babe. I've literally said that a couple of times on this.
You said that multiple. Wow, that is very interesting. I want you to give me a compliment, and I want you to ask me to read the question. That's what I would like.
You're not getting that.
Give me a compliment.
You're not getting that. You're not getting that.
Well then, Monet, will you read it? You have your eyebrows look really nice. Will you read the next one?
Jacob. How to quote?
I think you're a really talented person, and I enjoy working with you. Will you read the next one?
I can't even think of this person who did that song.
Is it this hard for you to be nice to me? Just say something nice to me and ask me to read. I'm asking you for what I want in the world. Do you want to read it, friend? Do you want? If you just give me a compliment and ask me to read it, I would have read it minutes ago.
Oh my god! Bob, read the fucking question, please. Read the question.
You're getting meaner. This is the opposite of what I want. I want you to say something nice about me and ask me to read it, or or you and your beautiful smile. I would like for you to read it.
Howdy, Bob and Monet. How do y'all deal with having trifling bio parents? I'm new to this. My mom passed when I was younger, so I only have my dad left. I was a daddy's girl for so long, so I'm just not realizing he's not a good person. I'm trying to come to terms with it and learning how to set boundaries to protect myself and my family. But it's hard because he is the only parent I have left. Any advice? Sincerely, Daddy is a trifling stone. A rolling stone, I get it. Bob, would you like to go first since I read the question?
You want to give me a compliment, Asmus?
Oh my God, answer the question, bitch.
Why is it so hard for you to say something nice about me? This is wild. I'm not asking for the moon. I just want you to say
compliment you all the time. God, I'm not doing this dance with you. I'm not doing this dance with you.
The dance where I ask you to be nice to me?
It's two to tango, and I'm not tangoing. So you tango by yourself.
This is a wild work environment. Listen, I think that your parents that you were that contributed to your birth, be it through passing you through their canal, donating an egg or some sperm, you don't owe them literally anything. There's a notion that we owe our parents. And when I tell you it is literally the exact opposite, they owe you up to a point, and then they don't owe you anything either. If you want to have a relationship with your father, I would say start with open honesty. I have a very hard relationship with my father, and it is currently being affected. And until I'm able to go to him and say, I've been hurt in this way, and this way, we will never have a real relationship. Our relationship will never be real until, and I have not done this yet. This is much harder advice to take than it is to give. Let me say that right now. It is so hard to say out loud, I'm hurt because of this, and list off all the reasons why you feel like you don't connect to your parents. You know what I mean? So it sounds like you want to connect with him because he's the only parent that you have left. But also bear in mind that we have parent figures in other people. My Uncle Scotty is like a dad to me. My Uncle Scotty was a big part of raising me. And I really look at him like a father figure. I call him Uncle Scotty, but I look at him like a father figure because he was just kind of that male figure for me growing up as a kid. Monet can speak to this. Monet has a very close relationship with her chosen mother. And a different relationship with her with the woman who gave birth to her. You want to go ahead, Monet?
Yeah, I agree a lot with you don't owe your parents anything. I think that in terms of your dad, if setting you want to set these boundaries to protect yourself from your father and from the rest of your family, and I think that is honestly the wisest thing to do. I think that protecting yourself comes first, like your mental self, mentally, physically. You need to protect yourself how and setting these boundaries is a good way to do that. I mean, I think that if you are trying to, it seems like you want to have a relationship, but you just know that your dad is not a good person, or he may be toxic, or whatever behavior he's exhibiting that is not good for you. So I think setting these boundaries, establishing what that is, and then once you feel fully protected and you want to, then establish these conversations and talk to him about the ways that he is not being good or being toxic to you and not fulfilling you. But being a queer person, do you identify as queer? But queer people, RuPaul says this a lot, and we all know this to be true. Like we're really, really good at surrounding and choosing family when we need to, and people who fulfill us in that way. And for me, I chose to love the woman who chose to love me and adopt me, and a woman who gave birth to me. I don't owe her love. I don't owe her affection. I don't owe her family. So I choose to love the people who choose to love me, and that's what's true for me. That's what makes me sleep at night. That's what makes me feel good. So I think that you get to choose how you want to experience your father and what relationship you want to have with him. It's on your terms, not his. And I think going knowing that and being confident in that, it's on your terms, not anyone else's.
You also wrote here, I'm just not realizing that he's not a good person. Villainizing your parents is so easy to do. And I do not know what your father has done. I have literally no clue. But I do know that people are not just good people and bad people. It's not just like he's not a good person and that's just the end of the story. You know, people have a lot of facets to their personality. And I think that there's a chance that your father's morals may not line up with your own, and that your father's scruples or lack thereof may not line up with your own as well. But I don't think that inherently means that your father is not a good person, because once you label him as not a good person, that's all you'll see him as. Take it from me, trust me, and believe me, resenting your father is not it. No matter what, my father's done a lot of fucked up stuff. I've mentioned this a lot on the podcast, what he's done to me, and resenting him has never done anything for me. It has only ever hurt me. Only ever. And when I thought he was dying, it was hurting me even more. So that's my advice on that. Try maybe to see something different in your father. And you know, a quote I heard a long time ago, and I got some flack online for saying this, but like I firmly believe it. You know, your parents did the best they could with what they had. I really believe that. I firmly believe that. That's what I had to believe for me to get through my trauma with my parents, my dad specifically. Your parents did the best they could with what they had.
And sometimes you just need that physical distance, like physically and emotionally, to distance yourself so you can really sit with yourself and your thoughts and really collect, like, what will make me feel better about this? What do I really want? Because maybe you're saying that, you know, all this stuff, and maybe you really do want to have a close relationship with your dad, or vice versa. You think that you do, but then realize you don't. I think you need to really sit with yourself and further yourself from them physically, but also mentally, and really come to what it is that you want and what it is you need. What will make you feel good? What will make you go to sleep at night? And to tackle it that way.
Monet, it has been an absolute pleasure recording this podcast with you. You have a radiant smile. You have a wonderful personality. Mm-hmm. And I'm very grateful that you are my coworker here.
Thank you so much. I had a great time with you up until a point. And which was just like the last, I want to say 10 minutes. It was absolutely lovely. I loved doing this podcast with you. And in the last 10 minutes, you know, you really know how to seal.
Do you want to give me any specific compliments, like specifically? Like, instead of like repeating back what I said to you, do you want to give me any specific compliments?
No.
You can't think of anything nice to say about me?
I can think of them. There are many nice things. Like, I compliment you very often, all the time, to your face, and a lot of times not even to you.
And you're just choosing not to say any of the nice things.
That's right. Yeah.
Any particular reason?
Because I don't feel like it.
You just don't feel like saying nice things to me.
Not in this moment, no.
And what is that based on? What do you think that's centered around?
Just my own personal proclivities at this point in time, at 10:21 p.m. on Sunday night, March 13th. That's how I feel right now in this moment.
You just don't want to say nice things to me. Well, I just want to keep the floor open. Then, Monet, if you ever need me, if you ever feel like you need some affirmations or you need me to say nice things about you in a particular moment, more than likely, I'll be happy to do that.
I love that.
I would love that in return from you. I would love to be able to ask you for what I need, and then, you know, not have you, make it about you and your personality traits.
But life can't always be on your terms.
You're on your own journey.
Life cannot be on your terms when you want it. Life is not Burger King. You can't always have it your way. But we try and we strive to have it the best way for us when we need it to. And that's just how the cookie crumbles, baby.
And before we log off, I just want to ask, are you proud of your behavior?
Oh, very proud. Extremely proud. For sure.
Proud?
Yes. Very happy with my behavior.
All right. There you have it.
Pride will be my uphill.
Did you lose a brain cell trying to come up with that? Bitch start sweating, shaking, her teeth start gritting.
Pride will be my
pride
uphill.
Will be my. You're ridiculous. I'm hitting stop. I'm going to give you the last word. I'm offering you the last word. Anything you want to say?
Soak it up.